All right, so let's just jump right in. You know, every now and then you find something, a piece of writing, that's more than just a story. It's an experience. It's this incredible, chaotic, absolutely mind-bending train wreck that you just cannot stop watching. And today, we are going deep on one of the all-time greats, Jared A. Freeman's The Awakening and Morale Dismount.
I mean, look at this. Right from the get-go, in the prelude, the author himself is basically throwing his hands up and telling us, hey, this is going to get weird. He's not promising some polished masterpiece. No, he is promising a full-on dive into madness. And let me tell you, he delivers. This isn't just a warning, you guys. It's our very first clue that the author, well, he's about to become a character in his own crazy story.
So where does this whole thing even begin? Well, at first, it kind of feels like a gritty, post-apocalyptic action story. You're in a tank, you're in the middle of this huge desert, and you've got a mission. It feels familiar, but maybe a little bit off.
And the crew. Oh man, the crew is where this whole thing just goes off the rails. This is not your typical squad, okay? It's like someone grabbed a random handful of action figures from different decades and threw them in a box. You've got an 1800s British captain, a soldier from World War II, a blind ninja, of course, a machine man biker, and get this, a 1970s disco fighter. It's the most random, bizarre team imaginable, and they're all crammed into this one tank.
So what are they doing? Their mission, at least on paper, seems pretty simple, you know, in a B-movie kind of way. It's 2026, and they're driving around the desert trying to hunt these massive, car-sized bugs called end roaches. Okay, cool. Simple enough, right? Wrong. In this story, nothing is ever that simple.
Right, so how does the story build on this premise? The short answer is it doesn't. It just completely unravels. This is where the story's own logic just starts to fray at the edges before completely snapping in the most amazing way possible.
Okay, so we're all on the same page. A desert in the future, year 2026. We got it. Crystal clear.
And just when you think you know what's going on, the story just rips the rug out from under you. All of a sudden, we are not in 2026 anymore. We're in Egypt. During World War II, in 1941. The characters are all still there, but their entire reality has just changed.
And then it happens again. The desert, the war, poof, it's all gone. And our main guy, Commodore, is suddenly in a padded cell in a psych ward. See, the story isn't just inconsistent, it's actively fighting with itself, constantly erasing and rewriting its own reality from one moment to the next.
And it's not just the setting. The chaos is everywhere. Characters will die in some horrible, graphic way, and then, a paragraph later, they're just fine, given a thumbs up. People who are mortal enemies one second are best friends the next. Everyone betrays everyone else, like constantly. There's this spyglass with a note that keeps showing up, but it means something different every time. Oh, and a guy is revealed to be a secret roach hybrid traitor, and then the story just forgets that ever happened. It's nuts.
Now this is where things get really special. The story becomes so chaotic, so out of control, that the author himself, Jared Freeman, just can't take it anymore. He literally crashes through the fourth wall and starts commenting on the mess he's made.
You can just feel the raw frustration in his words here. He's not just the writer anymore. He's become the story's first victim, and he is just as lost and confused as we are. This doesn't feel like a clever literary device. It feels like a genuine cry for help from a man lost in his own creation.
And there he is, the man himself. His notes start popping up all over the place in the later sections, and it becomes this running commentary of his own breakdown. He is literally at war with his own story.
And, well, here it is, the breaking point. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and honestly, it might be the most coherent and relatable sentence in the entire book. The creator has completely and utterly lost control.
But right when it feels like the whole thing is just going to collapse into nothing, we get an answer. We get our first real clue that explains, well, some of this madness anyway.
It's the one question we've all been screaming, right? After all the deaths, the resurrections, the betrayals, the time jumps, what on earth is actually going on?
And boom, there it is. A single line of dialogue from a mom we never see, and it changes everything. The war, the tank, the giant bugs, it's all just a kid playing with his toys in the backyard.
And just like that, it clicks. It's a weird kind of sense, but it makes sense. That desert war zone, it's just a kid's backyard. The scary end roach juice that was infecting everyone, that's just superglue for fixing broken toys. The terrifying Death Rattler train? A toy train set. And that ultimate weapon, the Ultra Chaos Organ Dissembler? It's a lawnmower. It's actually this brilliant, almost kind of sweet reason for all the narrative insanity.
But hold on. If you think the story stops there with that neat little bow, you haven't been paying attention. Because it immediately rips that bow off and peels back one final super meta layer that turns this whole thing into something else entirely.
Even the author can't handle where this is going. His own characters, his little plastic toys, are starting to wake up. They're realizing they're just toys in some kid's game, and he is absolutely not on board with this development.
And this is the moment. It happens right here in the dialogue. The characters start talking about the author. They're becoming aware of their own creator. The fourth wall isn't just broken, it's been vaporized.
So once they realize this, their whole mission changes. Forget the bugs, forget the desert war. Their new purpose, their new quest, is to find their own creator, what they call the third eye, creator. They're trying to find the toy factory that made them.
And that's where it leaves us. It's just incredible. It starts as a story, then it becomes the author's commentary on his failing story, and it ends with the characters themselves trying to take over the narrative. So it leaves you with this one final, crazy question. What happens when the characters in the story start writing it themselves?